Welcome to this episode of Healing Through Stories. My name is Providence and I'm standing in for Professor Dixon Chibanda in this special episode. We are in Nairobi, Kenya for an Inner Wellness Conference, a program that was designed by Carla Neumann. So just to read background, Carla is a president and founder of Dream Sponsors Inc. and creator of the My Girl Tribe Inner Wellness Program. She has over 30 years experience in the mental health field, treating children, adults, couples, and families with various presenting issues, including trauma, stress, depression or anxiety, severe mental health disorders, and difficult relationships. She also practices hypnotherapy, play therapy, EMDR, and clinical supervision. She has served in various administrative roles for community mental health organizations and developed programs for underserved, marginalized populations in rural Florida and Africa. Carla and team recognize the dire need for empowerment programming after interacting with Indigenous females during several volunteer visits to rural Kenyan villages where she and volunteers immerse themselves in various tribal cultures. So, Carla, thank you for joining us. What was the inspiration behind creating My Girl Tribe program and what is the mission?
So we actually started our organization in 2006. The name of our organization is Dream Sponsors, and the original model was to sponsor orphans and vulnerable youth to provide school fees and basic needs. But along the way, we realized that the girl child really has a lot more hardships in many parts of Africa. We were particularly focusing our efforts in Kenya at the time. And in 2018, I took an all-girls trip with some friends of mine and colleagues to spend time in the Maasai. So we spent 4 nights in a manada with a Maasai tribe, and we spent time primarily with the women, learning about their lifestyles. They taught us how to milk cows and do their beadwork, and all the while we're expressing how important it was to them to have a better life for their girls than they had. They were really wanting to find ways to get their girls to be able to go to school and escape the early marriages and some of the other things that plagued their community. So we really listened to these stories, and honestly, they were heartbreaking. And then some of our own girls who came from other parts of Kenya had been impregnated, several during the COVID epidemic, and were like, I think we really need to do more. I don't think providing basic needs is enough to really help them advance their quality of life. So that's sort of what inspired us to develop more programming.
That's great. So what countries are you working in right now?
Currently, we have collaborative partners in Ghana and in Uganda and in Kenya. We've done some work in the Gambia, but we haven't done anything recently.
Moving on to storytelling, I realized from the conference sessions that we had yesterday that there is a storytelling component to the My Girl Tribe program. Mm-hmm. How has storytelling helped girls and young women to heal and connect through this program?
Okay. I think some of the case examples are very pertinent to some of the struggles that they have. And when you give these little case vignettes and you get them thinking and talking, then they come up with more stories. And the whole idea of storytelling, as we know, is it really helps bond people. You find commonalities, you find acceptance, you find validation. And I think it's a really cool way to bond the girls and really help them develop a support network, and which is why we called it My Girl Tribe. We believe we all need a tribe to advance, and we're all part of one tribe.
So what positive changes have you observed from the girls and women that you've worked with so far?
Okay, most of that has come through feedback. We do pre and post testing. We do qualitative and quantitative analysis of our programming. In as much as when we can get the details from them. The partners in Ghana and Uganda have been incredible about offering, the Indigenous female lead trainers will then offer training in their communities, out in the village and in the schools. And they provide very rich little vignettes, little video clips of the girls giving testimonials, participating in the program, and they tell us how they're doing. They tell us what's different. They tell us about maybe how they're thinking about pregnancy differently, how they're staying in school, and mostly how they're taking care of their cycles, because a lot of this information that we're giving them is relatively new for them.
So as the founder of the program and also as a family therapist, what challenges and opportunities do you see in implementing community-based programs like My Girl Tribe?
Some of the challenges we've had are funding. All of our teams are volunteers. We've been doing work in Kenya since 2006. We've been working on this program since 2020. And prior to that, developing it, refining it, getting it copyrighted. But what I've found is what I would love to be able to do is pay these Indigenous female leads who are working so hard. They're so passionate about what they're doing, and they too deserve to be rewarded. We're helping to help them advance the girls, but they also need resources. So funding is always a challenge. The other challenge is helping to educate people who do have resources on why it's important to help these communities. These communities are ripe for other societal ills like human trafficking, trafficking of labor, all those things. And if we don't invest in them, we're one big global community. So I see the need to really educate people who have resources and inspire them to give.
How does the intergenerational support in the work you do help the program with working? I understand you work with older women, and you also work with young women and girls. So how does that help the work that My Girl Tribe is doing in Africa?
I think really part of what we do is for each organization that we develop a partnership with, we ask them to kind of assess their strengths and select the women in their community that are already serving as mentors. These women are already trusted by the girls in their community, and they're usually doing some level of work with the girls in terms of mentoring or informal education. Some of them are teachers, nurses, or paraprofessionals. So already they've got an in. These people also have an in with the village chiefs and those who are making decisions in their community. So by joining with them, finding what I call enlightened men, because a lot of the foundations and small grassroots NGOs that we're working with, they are already passionate about what they're doing, and they want to see females advance. So finding them and then them identifying Indigenous female leaders that are a good fit with our work, then we already have the in. We're already then accepted by them being trusted already. That helps us to be able to be integrated into the community and help make change.
You help so many people. So how do you take care of yourself? How do you balance the emotional demands of supporting others while also protecting your own well-being?
Oh, that's a really good question. I have to tell you, I am super lucky. I have a wonderful girl tribe of my own, and I have different circles of friends that, for me, fulfill different needs. So I have my professional colleagues. I have a private practice back in Florida. I have a great group of colleagues over the years that we can share cases, we can brainstorm, we share theories, we support each other. And then I have a group of that are my fun friends that I don't discuss cases with, and we just have silly fun. And then I have a really great husband and family, and my sister, who's wonderful, and she's been very supportive, and she's listened to all my challenges and woes. So it's really great. And I think having a good support network is key, because again, we all need a tribe.
Yeah. And how is that contributed to your own healing journey?
I think just feeling validated and knowing that there's always someone there that I can go to, and they can come to me, and we share our lives together. So it's great. A lot of my friends have like different passions and different values than I do, but yet we fulfill certain needs, and they get me, and they allow me to be me, and that helps tremendously. I also enjoy walking, so I find that balancing work and fun is really important. And I do like to have fun.
That is amazing. So to close, I know you've read the book.
I have, and I loved the book.
The new book from our founder, Dixon Chibanda, called The Friendship Bench, How 14 Grandmothers Inspired a Mental Health Revolution. So what part of Prof. Dixon Chibanda's story or the journey of Friendship Bench stood out to you about the power of community in contributing to healing?
I think what was so enlightening, I guess enlightening is the word, and amazing, is that he really used a strength-based model. And despite being super educated and in the know, because I think I read that he was one of 5 psychiatrists, very clinically trained, very medical model trained, he was open to embracing the wisdom inherent in these elders. And you can't put a price tag on that. I mean, we can study, books and theories and all these professional journals and get degrees, but when it really comes down to it, there's wisdom in our ancestors. There's wisdom in the elder generation. And I was so impressed by how really truly wise and accepting these grandmothers were, and non-judgmental, and really, really got it. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you so much, Carla.
And congratulations to you and all of your team. And I think it's an amazing model to take everywhere.
Thank you so much. And thank you for the wonderful work that you're doing with women and girls. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.